Hey everybody, welcome back to Dragonheart Crafts. Sorry I'm talking so low, but my friend is sleeping in the next room. But today I'm going to try and show you how I plan out a pattern for a project that I'm going to be working on this winter. I haven't been able to come up with an idea, but I think I have a way of taking two different patterns that I found on Pinterest and combining them together for this person. So I'm going to try and set up the pattern with you guys today, and then I'm going to try and show you guys how I put it all together with the actual beadwork. So let me get the camera turned around and I will show you guys how I'm planning on working this out. So give me a couple minutes, guys. Okay guys, so I'm using my phone to get the patterns up, but here's my Pinterest app that I've got set up. So I'm going to go into my saved stuff, and these are all of my boards that I have set up for, finding ideas and stuff. We're going to go into the board called Perler Pattern for Practice, because that's where I have these. Now, I'm just using all of these for my perler beads. I'm actually going to use some of these ideas for my seed bead stuff. So I'm going to show you the patterns that I'm planning on making, but you can just see some of the ones that I've saved over the last year or so. And as you can see, I have a ton saved. Before I find the ones I'm going to use, give me a second. My iPod needs charged, so give me 1 second while I hook this up real quick. There we go. Now hopefully that will show. Okay, so back to this. But yeah, these are just some of the projects that I have found that I want to use in future projects at some point. So give me a minute while I look for the specific ones I'm looking for. So there's this one I might use. It's not quite for sure yet. But then there was specifically one I did want to use that he did like. As soon as I find it, I'll show it to you guys, because it was a blue one, and blue is one of his favorite colors. Just gotta find it. I have it way down towards the bottom of my list. And I better just go clear to the bottom and find it that way. I have a ton. I've forgotten how many I had. Quite a few. I think I've got a couple thousand in here, if not more. Where is it? I'm a big Mario fan. I grew up playing the Super Mario game for the Super Nintendo when I was a kid, as well as playing Donkey Kong and Kirby. Those were like my favorite games to play when I was a kid. My brother and I would always play those games to, take out some frustrations and stuff we'd had during the day. And as long as we weren't beating each other up like siblings tend to do, we'd be playing video games and beat each other up that way. So it's one of my childhood memories that I kind of miss. Oh, where are they? Okay, so here's another pattern. This one right here that I'm bringing up. Sorry for the glare. But here's one of them, but it's got a lot of blue, gray, black, white. So that was one that I'm thinking of using. And if I could just find that specific one, that's the hardest one I'm trying to find. I'm planning on going back through most of my boards and subsectioning them down so I can get what I need a lot quicker. So I'll have my one specifically for my perler beads and then one specifically for... Okay guys, so I have found the patterns I'm going to use, and I will show you what they are. So I made a subsection in my perler patterns for practice, so I'm going to use this flag as my width base, but I'm also going to try and put one of these like in the center of the project. Then I'm going to use some of the design patterns off of this, so like the feathers and maybe a couple little diamonds and stuff in there like on the ends. And then I'm going to shoot for trying to get this eagle head or maybe the feathers or both incorporated into it as well. The only thing I don't have is a measurement of his wrist, which I need to get, but those are just the patterns I'm working with right now. So what I'm going to do is the supplies you're going to need besides your reference patterns is either a bead pattern program on your computer. I use Beadtool 4. But I don't have use of my laptop right now, so for now I want to use just some basic graph paper. I'm not, let's see, this is your, this is 10.5 by 8 inches. It's a 4x4 quad, so you basically have 4 squares in each direction per inch of the page. So, and then you're gonna need like some colored pencils or markers or whatever you intend to use to do your colors. But I have that container, and my friend had given me this little pencil tin, which I'm gonna also use because there's a bunch of colors in it. So I'm gonna go open it up, and I've got like markers in here. I have a few like colored pencils in here that I don't have the proper shade of these markers that I need. So you can use, you know, like colored pens, crayons, pencils, just whatever kind of coloring medium you would prefer to use. I'm positive you can even create these with like watercolor or acrylic paint. Just whatever you can get as close to your color selection as you can. But my color selection is blue, red, and gold, and I might incorporate like a little bit of another like background color, like say white or black. And because I have the flag in this project, I'm definitely going to be using some white or like a silver to represent the white. So I'm going to use I'm going to try and find me a nice dark blue color in the pens, and I need to find a red, and then I have a Prismacolor metallic gold pencil, and I like the Prismacolors because they also come in a watercolor pencil style, but these are just the regular colored pencils that I like to use. So I've got that, and oh, I'm going to need a black too for a couple of details. Let's see, where is my red? I think there's a red right there. Okay, and then I need a color to represent my white space, because when I go to make patterns, I don't particularly like to have like white on the page. I like to use like another kind of color to kind of represent that white space, but I try and use a light color. Let me see, what can I use? But I also don't want to use too light a color, or else the camera won't pick it up. So, maybe I'll go ahead and just use like a gray or silver. So we'll use this gray color to show that. So, but I have my color bases right now. Oh wait, I forgot I got more colored pencils in here that I can use. So I can actually use like this cream color for my white. So I'll just pop that in there to remind me that that's where I got that pencil from. So, but here's my my work page, my colors I'm going to use. So I've got two Prismacolor color pencils and my Statler Tri Plus fine liners in black, dark blue, and red. And then I've got my patterns here. So using my black marker, I'm going to count down 18 squares because it's going to be an 18 strand size bracelet. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go like one space away from the very, very edge of my page. I'm going to count down 18 slots. So, 1, 2, 18. Okay, so I've got my 18 lines marked, and I'm going to go down just to the side of it to mark my base section. Okay, so I've marked that side. So this would basically be where my first strand starts, is right here. So my first pattern I'm going to go ahead and start with is the feathers. I'm going to start with these ones here. Now, like I said, I can either use these feathers or these feathers. I'm actually thinking of going ahead and using this design of feather. Sorry guys, didn't mean to go off camera there. But instead of using like these plain, not quite so detailed ones, I'm going to go ahead and use these ones here. They're just a little bit more detailed. But I'm also going to figure out what my base color is going to be, because I want to have that, you know, particular base color in there. And I just realized that I'm going to need some like some orange in there, so I'll find another color here in a minute. But and maybe some yellow as well. But I'm thinking about maybe using that gold as my background color, just to bring the rest of the colors out. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and do like a time lapse of this, and go ahead and just get started on working this pattern out and showing you guys how I'm gonna do it on here. So give me one quick minute, folks. Okay guys, so here's the beginning of the pattern so far. And I used a cream. It's hard for me to see it in the light I've got now, but you guys should be able to see it just fine. But I've done my X's because it's easier to just mark an X where I need to put it, and then I can color it in later. But so here's the starting of one feather, here's the starting of the flag, and I'm going to have a bunch of gold in the background here. Now, he has told me and showed me what gold he wants. I just need to, you know, make it work. So for what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my gold, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go all the way down till I meet this line, and then do the same thing on this part up here, and then I can just shade it all in afterwards. So I'm going to do another time lapse and just do that, and then we'll continue on. Now, as you can see that I'm going to run off my page here soon, so I'll have to flip it over and do the rest of it on the other side. But this is basically kind of how I do my patterns to start off with. But when I go to put this together in my video editor program, then it'll be easier to just see it all come together, you know, as it progresses. And then I'll transfer this pattern to my bead program, so I can find the colors I need as close to what I need them to. So, but this is basically how my patterns kind of start out. If I don't use my bead program, I go ahead and just use graph paper. It makes it easier to do that because it's already in a grid, and I can just use the colors that I have on hand. So, but I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this white space with this gold pencil that I have here, and I'll come back in a few minutes. Okay guys, so I've got the gold color filled in, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at this for now, and then as soon as I can get the next page started and kind of get that working out for getting it designed, I'm going to do that in pencil first, in just regular graphite pencil, so I can erase it as I go, because the eagle is going to be the pain in the butt one to do. So that's going to be the next one I work on. And then I might kind of rework some of this here, try and get it figured out, you know, see what I can come up with and everything. But I'm noticing that I'm going to have kind of a differentiation in here, because I've got 4 squares here, 3 squares here. I'm thinking I may have to add one more row just to kind of balance that out. But I'm trying to not make it too wide on him, because I also have to have like a leather backing or a fabric backing on it, so it's, you know, pliable and malleable and he can wear it comfortably. But this is, you know, this is just like the rough version is what it is, and then I can do the official copy on my bead program. So thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, comments, or remarks, please leave them down in the description box below the video. I will have my Facebook contact information and my email information, so you guys can contact me privately if you need to, if you have any, you know, things you don't want asked on YouTube. And, you know, if you guys want to see like a live video, go ahead and comment on that down below as well. I would like to attempt to do a live chat with you guys and just do like a Q&A while we're working on a project, or while because I'm still working on my craft room. I haven't gotten it finished yet. There will be more videos on that as soon as I get to working on that current project. Yeah, just if you guys just have any questions, comments, or anything, just let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So you guys have a great day, happy Halloween, safe weekend, and I will talk to you guys another day. Bye!